All right, everyone. Remember Christine Ford and how she claimed that Brett Kavanaugh basically was known for running trains on people? I think she was the one that claimed that he was literally like gang raping people or something at parties. Like he would get drunk and get handsy and then, violate people. He denied all of these allegations flat out, continuously, with no reservations. There was never any particular evidence to suggest that Kavanaugh had done any of these things. Nobody had odd pictures or audio or anything by Kavanaugh that would raise a red flag. It was simply a claim. The problem being, while it was presented as there being like three claimants, only one of them ever gave testimony because one was discredited right off. Another one, her story fell apart so quickly that she basically moved to the shadows, and then leaving only Ford to make her allegations before Congress. Well, her lawyer, her attorney, former attorney on the matter, I guess came out, and there's a clip of her. Now, it's slightly out of context, so keep that in mind. But basically talking about how Ford was motivated in part making this claim because of her support for abortion. So essentially, because of her political views, and this was obvious at the time, it's not like this is particularly new info, but it's necessary to talk about it in the context of the hashtag ~MeToo sort of witch hunt bullshit that went on with Kavanaugh and has gone on with other people, political personas throughout time for a very long time. What happened is that Christine Ford, I guess, she realizes that this dude she doesn't like, for in part political reasons, is going to be in SCOTUS. So she was motivated, according to her own attorney's statement here, kind of link in the description, according to her own attorney, at least in part by Roe v. Wade, thinking that Kavanaugh was going to attack abortion. I guess the idea was, well, at least now when he attacks abortion, people will know who he really is. Not that that would matter in the context. I'm not sure what form of activism that is. It doesn't make any sense. The fact is, though, that Kavanaugh has not attacked abortion. And I would be upset if he did. Like, one of the things I consistently spar, even with a lot of you on cross-platform, is that I'm pro-choice. I happen to believe that a woman should be able to have an abortion that's safe and effective. Just my thoughts, because I don't think the government can be trusted to oversee medical shit. I don't see it as a moral issue, at least until the quickening, which ironically puts me in line with the Christian Bible. And even thereafter, I'm like, well, who's going to stop it? I don't want the government to do anything, and I sure as hell don't want the church or some private entity making medical decisions for people. So you're sort of between a cock and a hard place. By the way, to all you religious people, why is it that you still believe in a rape and incest exception if you believe that it's murder? You can't say, well, you can murder someone just because you were raped now, can you? That's not a moral statement. Don't be a coward. On this issue, I must remain absolutist. You either fundamentally believe in it as a libertarian or moral issue for the woman, or you believe that it's murder and you can't support abortion in any case. That's just the way that it fucking is. Read your own gospels anyway, off of that particular subject. Christine Ford was always known to be motivated by a personal animus, but to have her attorney come out after... So basically, you rake the man over the coals. You say he's a drunk, he's a womanizer, he's running gang trains and shit on people. He's nuts, basically. He gets a few beers in him and he just goes nuts and he rapes everything that moves. You try to ruin the man's career. You attack his personal life. He's got a wife and kids. You say all sorts of weird shit about him without any shred of evidence. And then months and months later, after proclaiming that it was just, a deeply inscribed on your hippocampus or whatever the fuck she said, whatever stupid, cringy bullshit Christine Ford said at the time. It was indelible on my mind that he got on top of me and, his sweaty hands were fondling my ass cheeks and stupid shit like that. Months later, you admit what sane people, I think, understood, which is a political hatchet job. And that's exactly what it is. So now through her attorney, she's, admitting basically, he has a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, I sort of felt he was piggish. He would attack abortion. The first major decision, this is the ultimate irony, and I told people at the time something like this would probably happen. His first major decision, in which he sided with the majority in favor of the liberal position, along with Roberts, was to not take up a case that would have potentially endangered certain abortion protections. The ultimate irony is that Brett Kavanaugh actually sided with the liberals on that issue. So there you go. I guess Christine Ford should owe him an apology because he's not as piggish and anti-pro-choice as you thought. He's not actually capable. I think in the Orange Man bad witch hunt era, I think maybe part of her is just such a political weirdo that she actually believed what people were saying, and they actually thought that a single Supreme Court justice can unilaterally challenge existing Supreme Court decisions, or they believed that Trump somehow would be magically able to reconstitute like all of law because he gets another SCOTUS appointee. They actually believe this weird shit. It's really funny. By the way, nobody ever talks about Gorsuch. Have you noticed that he sort of disappeared off the face of the earth? And they don't talk about Kavanaugh that much either. They don't want to, they're too busy talking about how long Ginsburg will live. By the way, I mean, she could kick off at any time. She's had cancer like 3 or 4 times. You're going to lose count at some point of that. That's about all. Peace out.